Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, fam. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. Here to talk about the latest, not surprising situation in Ferguson, Missouri, involving Michael Brown and Darren Wilson not being acquitted. Indicted. And I wish that I could say that this was something that was a surprise to me, but it's not. I feel bad because one of the worst things is being right. You know, everybody always talk about, oh, you always want to be right. There's no joy in being right. You know, like when I see people waste their time, and you know that they're wasting their time, but you can see that they're good people, they're passionate, they believe in what they believe in, but you already been there, done that, and you can see that the tactics and stuff that they use just don't work. So I feel bad for black people who feel bad and who are upset and who are angry. I wouldn't say angry is what would describe how I feel. It's kind of weird, but I sort of feel like this is one of those silver linings inside of the storm or the cloud. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to be insensitive here. I don't mean that Michael Brown's death is a silver lining. That's not what I mean at all. It's tragedy, and it's injustice. The silver lining to me is, what does that mean? Like, how can we make this so that his death is not in vain? How can we make this so that Trayvon Martin's death is not in vain? That Oscar Grant's death is not in vain? That Eric Garner, I believe it's Eric Garner, is not in vain? And countless others that I can't even mention in this one video. How do we make their death be something that we can take this negative and then turn it into a positive? I'm going to get to that. That's toward the end. But what I want to address now is this concept of no justice, no peace. Now, a lot of people throw this around. Actually, when I went to the slave theater, Alton Maddox used to say this right before he got into his lecture. You say no justice, and it call and response to the crowd would say no peace. No justice, no peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. And then he say hug the person next to you and let them know that you glad that you're African. Used to do that to start off every meeting. And you hear it and you hear it and you hear it, and people hear it and they repeat it, but I don't think they really understand what that means. And I'm pretty sure that they don't know what it means, because if they actually knew what it meant, you wouldn't be seeing a lot of what you're seeing now. You know, like you wouldn't be hearing a lot of the things that you're hearing now. Like, for instance, people crying and bitching and moaning about, it's counterproductive. How can you get anything done? It doesn't accomplish anything if you're rioting and you're looting and you're destroying your own community. Well, let's break that down. Destroying your own community. First of all, we don't have a fucking community, number one. If we had a community, we would be in control of our socioeconomic and political context. We would control the politics of our community. We control the businesses in our community. We would have control over the police department, which would render this whole discussion moot, because we wouldn't have police brutality if we had an actual community. because the police would be under the control. Well, yeah, control. I don't have a problem saying that. Under the control of the community. They would be working with the community. There would be police officers that actually came from the community. So people would be familiar with them. They wouldn't be looked upon as enemies or a standing army inside of the community. What we don't have right now is a fucking community. We don't control the businesses. So when these businesses are getting burned and looted and rioted and all this other stuff, whose businesses are actually being burned down? Foreigners in our neighborhoods. People who don't belong in our neighborhoods. People who don't look like us. People who take the resources that we give them and take it outside of our community and go and enrich their community. So don't expect me to cry no fucking tears. I'm not gonna get a snotty nose and teary eyes over somebody's business, some foreigner's business in our in our neighborhood. I won't say community, that happens to be burned down or torched or rioted because of an injustice by the system. Now keep in mind, and this is what I've been accused of. People say, well, you're justifying rioting. You're saying that you're pro-rioting, you're pro-violence. Let me put it to you like this. If I know Mike Tyson in his prime and Rampage Jackson in their prime, and I know what they can do, and I know the damage that they can do, and you in your infinite wisdom decides to go and slap one of them across the face and spit in them. Spit on them, slap them, whatever. In response, they beat the living dog shit out of you. Leave you hospitalized and almost damn near dead. Am I pro beatdown because I come to your hospital bed, hold your hand and say, you really shouldn't have slapped Mike Tyson and Rampage Jackson? That means that I'm pro beatdown? That I'm pro-violence? I'm merely telling you what the results of your actions are going to be. And when you slap the entire community across the face and you tell them, you know what? Not only is this child's death mean nothing, we're not even going to waste our time going to trial. We already know, and we're going to get a prosecutor who is actually going to plead the case for the defense. So we're going to slap the entire black community across their fucking face and say, fuck you. And then we expect everybody to just go home and just handle that and eat that. All I'm saying is that's not what's going to fucking happen. And that's what no justice, no peace means. If you want peace, then you have to have justice. If you put out injustice and let people know that you don't give a shit about them, then what people do is they react violently. Violently. Even Martin Luther King said it. That a riot or rioting, I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the exact phrase, but he said a riot is the voice of the unheard. So all of these people talking about, oh, these people are destroying their communities. These people are making the situation worse. How much worse can it get? Oh, and let's talk about another thing that I want to address. I want to talk about the talking heads in our community. And I'm going to single out one in particular, Steve Harvey. I was in the car with my brother. We were driving to see my mom in the rehab center because she's, getting physical rehabilitation to recover from the hospital. And Steve Harvey's giving his chime in on what he feels about the Ferguson case. Now, see, this is the problem with half-truths. Somebody could be saying something true, but what's completely false is the premise upon which they're saying it. And it could be a complete deflection off of what the focus should be on. And this is what the talking heads like Steve Harvey are going to do. They're there to calm you down. There's not going to be one talking head on the radio, on TV, or anywhere else that's on mainstream TV that's black that's going to tell you these people are justified in what they're doing. Everybody's going to be calling for you to calm down. Calm down. Calm down, Mike Tyson. Calm down, Rampage. Don't beat him up too badly. I know he slapped the shit out of you. I know he talked about your mama, but don't beat him too bad. Yo, I'm out of that. I'm out of that. You want to slap Mike Tyson? You want to slap Rampage Jackson? You get what comes with that. And don't look at me like I'm pro-violence because you're getting your ass whooped. That's not how it works. Don't try to deflect. See, we're in the age right now of deflection. In the age of right now, people trying to shift your focus away from what you should be talking about. Like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said, well, we can't control the system. The system gonna be there no matter what. We can't control the police. The police gonna be there no matter what. First of all, both of those statements is bullshit. We can control the system and we control the police. It's all a question of how we do with ourselves as a community. But I'll get into that at the end. But he's talking about we need better fathers. Be a father to your child. What the fuck does that have to do with Michael Brown's death? Michael Brown died because his father wasn't a good father? Trayvon Martin died because he didn't have a good dad? No, he died because he was black and the police killed him. But how come you're not talking about that? How come you don't want to concentrate on the death of the child? No, let's forget that. He's gone. Ain't nothing we can do about it. But let's try to make sure that you take care of your kids. Yeah, you should take care of your kids. This is what I mean by half-truths and critical thinking. You got to know when you're being bullshitted. See, I can listen to a person tell truth. Like, yeah, we should take care of our children. We should be father to our children. We should do all of this. And then you listen and you get wrapped up in that. You're going, yeah. And you totally miss that he done sidetracked you away from what the fucking issue is. The issue is Michael Brown being killed by the police and the police getting away with it. That's the issue. Not no motherfucking taking care. We're not talking about single mothers and we're not talking about parenting. None of that has anything to do with this. We're talking about the state executing one of our own and getting away with it and slapping us in the face and letting us know that this is a kangaroo court. We just putting this together to appease y'all. But at the end, we going to get away with this shit. Y'all ain't going to get justice. So just go home and watch some TV. Watch some, Housewives of Atlanta or something or hip hop, whatever. And then you expect that there ain't going to be people bugging out, wilding out in the streets? Hey, man, like I said, I'm just a news reporter or a weatherman. If I see the shit, I'm going to say this is what it is. I'm not endorsing it or anything. I'm just merely stating the reality of the situation. And I just love how people are more concerned with property than they are human life. When Michael Brown dies and slow down, hey, come on now, don't get upset, just keep your cool, keep your calm, but throw a fucking Molotov cocktail into some freaking Chinese store, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, come on man, you guys are just taking it goddamn too far. That's glass. You know how much that glass costs? You know how much it costs to do those floors and walls, and you're gonna destroy that shit? See, that's where your focus is on. Your focus is on fucking inanimate objects while people are fucking dying. So I'm just, all I'm saying is the solution to this is this. I'm going to keep this short. I got like a minute left. The solution is this. Nothing's going to happen from the top, people. Everything is going to come from the bottom. The question is, what do you want? Now, my solution is, and I think the solution is land, infrastructure, nationhood. Black folks need an independent nation outside of this country on the continent that they control from the top to the bottom. That only benefits us as a community. Not everybody will be able to go there, but it will benefit us as a community because at least we can have a base of operations outside of the control of the United States. Now, what you, the person listening to this video, has to do is embrace that concept, teach that concept, or talk about that concept to your inner circle, and judge harshly any Negro calling himself a leader, a representative, or whatever that does not push nationhood. If you are in front of somebody claiming that they working in the interests of black people, then they should be pushing for nationhood. If they are not doing that, they are not for you. And that's all I got to say about that. To be continued. I'll continue this rant at a later date. Peace.